Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. This is going to be a really boring show, so don't think there's going to be anything different. How's everybody doing this morning? All right. Let me go ahead and put this in here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let me get my channel set up. I'm only on here just trying to, I can answer a question or two here or there. I'm not going to be doing call outs. It's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be every 5 seconds money being made. It's going to be me doing robot back testing by hand. That's all it's going to be. So don't get excited. Don't get thrilled. Don't be upset. That's it. Now let me get my channel set up and I'll see if anybody's here. I don't want to ignore y'all, although it's going to be close. It is Saturday the 19th, 7/19. Let me make sure the right name is up here. And no, son of a bitch. There we go. Now, let's click on that. And we're over there. All right. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Let's make sure. Yeah, looks like we're good. And morning, Larry. Again, this is going to be one of the more boring lives. Don't expect much. I think I will break every now and then to make fun of one of my family members. Uses respected, that I love dearly, family members uses Yahoo Finance, like looks at it every day. So why I'm going to go ahead and look at Yahoo Finance every day and make fun of it. Because the news, Yahoo Finance news, is embarrassing. So we're going to look at the news every day and make fun of things. One of the things I just posted in our new room is, look at this. Netflix stock slips despite earnings beat. Netflix top, first of all, is that even English? Top Q2 earnings expectation, reported revenue of $11 billion. And supposedly the stock went down because the earnings were beat. They're so dumb. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Netflix stock went down because it's overvalued according to the safety trade system. That's why. Whatever. News does not matter. News does not matter. Not only does it not matter, it's stupidity. All they're doing is reacting to what the market does, and they're matching what it does. So anywho, we'll be doing that, but other than that, we are sticking right over here to these charts, and we're going to be doing some back testing. I'm going to go ahead and make up a thing because you guys are going to be whining all morning long, and I'm going to refer to this. We are currently back testing by hand. Coming. Rebot. Auto trading robot. I'm not going to list anything else by it. That's all you need to know. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. And let's go back to here. Good morning, Larry. God bless you too. Morning, everybody on TikTok and YouTube. All right, we're going to need to swing over to here. As you guys look at ES1, because it'll be working on ES1, I'll be looking at these charts on NAS. So it's I'll be looking at one set of charts, and you'll be looking at another set of charts, and then we'll meet somewhere in the middle. And then we'll be testing it by hand. Shorts and Wild Dreams. Okay, good morning, Shorts and Wild Dreams. That is a unique name. I don't recognize you. Welcome to the channel. Good morning to everybody on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Neuro Nuggets, Apple 7, Zin, and Pautitas. Welcome to the channel. I feel kind of bad for you. This is going to be kind of a boring live. I'm going to be doing back testing for a robot all morning long. I just came on here in case somebody had some kind of buy, hold, sell, sell, sell. Welcome, buy, hold, sell, sell, sell. I'm trying to stall to see if any more people are coming in to say good morning to. Good morning, Sabrine. All right. I'm going to get rolling here. I got too much to do. I'm going to erase all my drawings, and we're going to erase all of our drawings over here. All right. And then we are going to be looking at an order of operations that the robot will be following. And then go to... We're going to test it on NAS. We're going to test it on NQ1, same, but I'm still going to test it. SPX, ES1, YM1, and US30. First two up are going to be NAS and ES1. First date that my system goes back to that we can actually track to is somewhere around June 30th, 2025. So let's pull back to June 30th. And somewhere around here, I'll look at our criteria and judge. You'll notice we have multiple charts open, time frames open, 15 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute. Eventually we'll be entering off the 30 second, 10 second, 15 second, 5 seconds, somewhere around there. Good morning, Lazarus. Good morning, Lazarus. How are you doing this morning? All right, so we have our time period. Need to get my little charts over here going. So what do I have? Technically, we're good. Yeah, we can do this. All right, my first point of entry. Possible point of entry. All right, there we go. First point of entry. You've been doing great. Awesome, Lazarus. I'm very, very glad to hear that. All right, let's see. Can we go back to here and see something? I don't know. And no. So we're going to have to go forward past that. Let's see if we can do it here then. Perfect. All right. We have our first call for entry for the robot will be June the 30th at 8. So we're going to go to June the 30th. And we're going to go back up here till 8. And this will be our time right there. June 30th at 8, and we're going to flip all the charts over to there, and then we have to see all the criteria. So ES1 is already out because of where the sniper is. Everything is based off of this little indicator down here, and this is called the sniper. And everything that you see is based off of it. No robot, no anything is ever done, ever, unless the sniper says it's to be done. So this is the most important thing down here, period. Everything you see down here is based off of the sniper. Every signal, every robot call, all of my personal entries is only because of the sniper, period. With that in mind, let's go back to here. All right. Let's see what we got. Now we have our possible entry. We go forward from that. Now we have to check all time frames. At this point, we're going to see the 3 minute, 2 minute has been hit. 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute has been hit. So it is called. Let me zoom in a little bit because we're going to have to get a little more right here. So when it was called 2 minute, 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute is below, 2 minute is not. We might have to tidy these up to the 2 minute entries. Okay, because that one is looking a little bit iffy to me, and then we're going to come over to here. All right, so we can't enter ES1, but we can see if it does complete the rest of what we need. So we have This will be the time in if they match, which they do. So now we have ES1 is uncallable to be neutralized because of the sniper, but we do have a very good read on all red. Yep, perfect. And then the 30-second goes green. Now, am I all red? Whoa. Why did my gate just open? Hold on a second. Be right back. Okay. Why in the world did my gate just randomly open? I swear. That's weird. All right, so we have the perfect setup on SPX. I'm sorry, on ES1, other than the fact that we do not have, it's too low on the sniper. So the sniper is not correct, so we can't call ES1. Just closed. Okay. But we do have the proper here, so let's see where that entrance would be. Yeah. So Keith's not coding the entrance, but I have to pay attention to that. Yeah, we could do that. We can make that call. And let me see what it did earlier. It never crossed, so it crossed here. Okay. All right, so our first correct call. And that's one. Now the drawdown on NAS. The drawdown on NAS. How much drawdown will we have entered? So would this have been an entry or not? There would have been maybe none to a pip or two drawdown on that particular trade. Yeah. Yeah. 30-second. All right. So, yep, on a NAS, we can definitely handle a 2-pip drawdown. Stop loss is probably going to be somewhere in the range of 10 to 20 pips, depending on how often we see the draw. Okay. So no call on ES1. There will be a call on NAS on the first possible trade. Let's go forward and see if there's anything else, which there is not. Now, let me see if I can grab this one earlier. All right, so we're chalked up 1-0. Yay.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
Now, next possible time is June the 30th at 22:33. And yes, we'll be tracking the times also to see when the 22:33. All right, Let's see if 2233 works out. We're going to tag it here. Now, looks a little bit better. Let me see here. All right. I think we're going to get tapped out again on ES1. Let me see if we're okay here on NAS. $21.30 is a little bit earlier. So it would have flipped, came back. Would we had a buy stop? No, no. So we would have a 30-second here, which is early. Okay, that might work. All right, let me go to the actual other one, which is a dip here at July 1st, 1:30. So let's go over to July 1st. $130. Go to, and let's see if this is the correct call for ES1. No, not correct on the sniper. No. So we're going to be neutralized. So this ES1 will not be able to be called on this trade. But I think we're looking good on NAS. Let's take a look-see and see. All right, so NAS first time would be here, here, and here. So the trade would have been engaged here. That's correct. Now what does that mean? Well, now we got a C point of entry, and if we're using crossing here, would be crossing there. I don't think we can do the crossing of the 32nd though. That's not going to be a good entry. All right, so we have this one. At the cross is at 237. Yeah, I mean it did go up. Any drawdown at 237. Let me see. It's a nice little trade. So entry would have been somewhere around there. 239. Now, can we get confirmation at 239 over here on what you guys are looking at? Sniper's looking a little iffy there. $238, 239, and this would have been across two. Again, right when that changes, there would have been zero drawdown on ES1, obviously didn't come close to it. And on NAS, again, that would have been a 0, probably a 0, maybe a 1 pip drawdown. So that's really good. So the time of the second trade was at 1:30. And it was a very good trade again. So we're now 2 of 2 on the official calls. Good morning to everybody on TikTok and YouTube. This is a very boring show. Okay. Good morning, Jay Flo. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Blue Tide Crows. Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Hercules. Yeah, this is going to be a boring show. Not much going on. I'm just back testing. We are currently back testing by hand for upcoming Breebot auto trading robot. Yep, that's true. All right, our next time of possible entry is not there, is here. Now we do have to be able to call it even when they're red or green. So in this case, right here, yeah, no, it's to the left and not, so it's not possible to be called. Can we call here? Looks like it will be a call. We have a call, possible call at July 2nd, 2200. July 2nd, 2200. So let's go over to here. Go over to here, July 2nd. So this is stuff no one wants to see. They just want, oh, Kev just came up with a robot out of his ass. They don't understand anything of what I do, what has to go in, all the work, all the hours, all the weeks, all the months of me testing and back testing and getting the right order of operations. Again, I'm on my 5th iteration of this, I think it is. So I've tried 5 different sets of order of operations for the robot to work and for Keith to be able to code. There are some limitations, not with Keith, but with TradingView. TradingView is a horror show. I feel terrible for Keith. All right, now, the exact time is, yep, 2200. Are we at 2200? Close enough. Yep, okay. Now, it looks to be good. Yep, we look good on ES1 this time. So let's go ahead and push over and see what happens, what my rules are. So this is a fill in the gap. I see a 3-minute fill in the gap, 2-minute buy stop with the proper sniper on the bottom, 1-minute buy stop with the proper sniper on the bottom, and then the 30-second isn't all red, but that's okay. So we have a very good ES1 call. Let me zoom in a tad bit over here to see upon entry. One minute is perfection. Entry would be, let's see, somewhere around here. So on that particular candle, we'll mark it here. And our drawdown would be, that's not even going to be a pip. So I'll even take it on the high from here to here. It's not even 1 pip. Less than a pip drawdown on ES1. Let's see what it would be firing off here. This is here. So if this is a fill in the gap, this is not a fill in the gap. So this would be 2 or 3. So we have 3-minute red, 2-minute red, and then think, okay, the 1 minute's also a buy stop. And then this has to cross up and over on the 1 minute. So my entry here would be at 22.53. Your entry here is 22.52. Interesting. ES1 would be the call then from the robot, but let's see if I have any drawdown here. Crossing would have been, no, I think would have been here. Yes, there would have been. Very slight amount. Let me see. My drawdown on NAS would have been 3 pips. So a 3 pip drawdown. Let me make sure on that time again here. Number 4. And we had that call. Would have been here at 2200. And it was an extremely good call. All right, so if that was the case and it went down, stayed up, yep, we are golden. That is a very, very good call. Would have made minimum on mine here would have been made over 30 pips. So 2 3-pip drawdown, 30 pip, 10 to 1. Yep, that's going to work out extremely well. All right, let's go on to the next possible call. The next possible call would have been the one we were actually in. So the next one after that would have been this one. Is this the same one we would have been in? Oh, we would have already been in this trade. Yeah, I don't think this one would apply. That's what we need the computer for, to see if logically this trade would be applied. I don't think so, no. If it was applied at 1 o'clock, July 3rd at 1. I hate doing them around the holidays, by the way. 1 o'clock, would this been working? I don't know how that would have worked out. Let me see. Well, if it had been here, that would have been no. So when it started to flip, did it go over before then? That's going to be a robot. That's going to be a Keith call, because I can't call it enough to judge that one. So we're going to say no on that. Right now it's going to be red reset only. So we're going to come over to here. Okay. Next possible call is July 7th at 4 o'clock. July 7th at 4. And again, this is what we're doing. I don't care if you guys are bored. That's called tough shitness. What's up, Shorts and Wild Dreams? I like learning new things and how things work. No other person do what you do. Thank you. I agree with that. Good morning, Grant. What's up, Grant? If I get everybody here, there's only a few people here, but if I can get you all to get the thumbs up and actually like the YouTube video, that'd be awesome. All right, where were we? All right. So our next possible call is July 7th at 4. So let's go to July 7th. Two, three, four. So this is another one. July 7th at 4. I want to see how many are called during each week too. Okay. This is July 7th at 4. Are we going to see what we need to see to make this trade? I already tell you, not on ES1. ES1's out. Complete opposite of what we need for the sniper. Yeah, that's a no-go. So we're for sure out here. Let me see if I can do what I can do here. So I don't know about this. It's looking a little challenged here too. All right. Now we have here, we're good. So let's keep going forward then. This would be, yep, we would be engaged in the trade. Well, we'd be looking at the trade, I should say. And nothing here. Okay, would it have taken this trade? Yes, it would have. Are we still in good standing? Yes, we are. So the entry would have been here. Absolutely here on the 1 minute, and I think we're gonna have to stick with the 1 minute cross. Looks like it's best. So if it would have entered on this candle, actually would have been no drawdown and up 13, 14 pips. Not bad at all. It's a real challenging call, but it is the correct call. And yep, that would have worked. All of these would have stayed within that. So the one time we've been done. Okay, so we do have a correct call. This call at 4 o'clock on July 7th. It's our fifth one at 4. Was very good. We had 0 drawdown on NAS, and that's more than enough for us to make a good call on for the take profits. Excellent. All right, next possibility, this one isn't going to go, I bet, is July 7th at 15:30. July 7th at 15. Oh, fuck it. That's why I use this thing. I'm so grateful to them to have this. 15:30. And let's see how it looks here on your guys' chart. All right. Again, complete opposite. This will not work for ES1. ES1 wouldn't be called by the robot at this point. It's complete done. So next up is we are looking at NAS to see if this thing can hold up to what it needs to do, and we have our possible entry here. I don't know how that'll read that, but okay, that's fine. And then by here, oh, it's a mess. I think, hold on. Might have to check this by hand here. All right, let's see. Oh, it's even. This would be a call by the robot. Almost for assuredly. We might have to take into account when it closes is the 1 minute green, 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 red. I might have to add keys to that. This would have entered. I mean, it could have made 2 pips. Let me see. I don't want to misspeak. Oh my gosh. It would have made 3 pips. I don't know. That might be a little too tight. and then it gets neutralized. Yeah. This is a bad, because I'm going to have to mark this as a iffy call at best. What time was that entry on this one? 15:30. Call 6. 15:30. And that was July 7th. 7. It's very hard to make 5s with your left hand. I'm going to mark this as a only 3 pip. Profit. And we had a might need to add 1 minute buy stop. 1 minute real direction bars, all green. We'll see. But that is a challenge. That one is definitely a challenge. All right. So that would probably be a no-go. Let's go over here and see how this one looks. We're going to go to July 8th at 12. July 8th at 12. And see what the robot will see. July 8th. Nope, already negated. It's already gone on ES1. It's a no call, can't be called. We did have a few earlier ones. I might have to flip this around and see. So this is a July 8th. No call for ES1. This is July 8th. Let me make sure on the time on mine. At noon. And it's a no-go for ES1. So ES1 has been taken out of play, but let's go ahead and take a look at NAS. We have red, we have solid green. We have a cross here, but that changed. This is a higher time frame, that's the problem. This is going to be tapped here, so it got tapped out at 1300. This would have been a no call. Yeah. Here, it went up here, but if we keep that rule in place, it couldn't even have gone up because this went too far down. But I don't know. I'm going to call that a no call. Yeah, that's a no call. All right, and then there's no more calls to be made at that time, so this is a no call. Next, let's take a look at, nope, yep, here we go. Aha, this looks pretty good right here. Let me make sure on something. 21.2. 21.5. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Well, let's take a look. We have July 9th, 1730. July 9th, 1730. July. All right, let's see what you look like over here on our ES1. Yes, the robot will be working on, so you guys can do your funded trader accounts through the robot. July 9th at 1730. All right, no, again we get denied on ES1. ES1 is getting annihilated. Why are these all the wrong calls for ES1? Looks like they're being called earlier. At any rate, so that's a bad no-no. And do we have anything we can grab before it gets neutralized? Here, 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 here. 1 minute cross here. Yes, yes, that is. Oh, that's a definite entry. Zero drawdown at 1927. That's nice. Zero draw, not even close to a drawdown. And up 35 pips, 36 pips. Zero drawdown, 36 pips profit. Yep, that's a go. That's a win. July 9th. Yay, and we can't even trade ES, but that's okay. ES will still be called based off of NAS. I'm just using these two as our match. All we need is 2 out of the 5 symbols to match. Then the signal will be generated. I'm just using these two randomly, but it'll be looking at NAS, SPX, ES1, NQ1, YM1, US. It's going to look at all of them at one time. We're just getting it manually to do this right now. Nice. Okay. Next, let me check the comments. Good morning, Solace Soul. We're doing a very boring subject this morning. If you guys want to stick around, you can ask a question here or there, but what we're working on, it has to be robot related. What we're working on is the back testing by hand of the order of operations, strictly looking at the sniper as the primary look, and then we make our judgment from the sniper. Okay, so this would have been a win. Let's go over to here. In this possible time, you can clearly see it wasn't going to work, but let's see why. 1, 2, 3. We'd have to wait for it to go under, then come back up. And yeah, it's already neutralized. So this is not even a call here. Could be a call, possible call here, which drives me nuts that it went underneath that. Right here. July 10th at 22:30. Let's see. Yes, this might have went up. Hold on. It did go over. Oh, this is a terrible trade. But let's see. I think it's going to call right. So, 1 pip drawdown and a 5 pip profit. I mean, it is not what you want to see. But it met all my criteria. This is going to be a good trade. Oh my gosh. Is it because it's not in the 3 minute? But if we're doing a fill in the gap, I can't wait for that. Should we make it so that this stays 3 minute? Well, then in which case we're out the door. There's no way that trade's going to be active. Yeah, it goes too far low. Fuck. I'm not going to call that trade. I think that's going to be neutralized. But again, that's what Key's for. We'll know. Okay. Our next date is going to be July 11th. All right, let's see the 1 minute. Oh, I did it again, but that would be negated with that. Oh, and we're already neutralized. Okay, this is no go. Oh, jeez. This will be, we might have to go up a level to check this out. This is the, Okay, we're going to go right back and restart all testing. We're going to go back to nope. 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 Oh, come on. Nope. Hold on one second. Let me delete all these too. All right, we're going to go back to here, but let me see something. All right, we're going to call the first one at June 30th at 4. And again, this is just what happens. I go over things when I see something I like or I don't like, I recheck. Go to. Still neutralized. Damn. I thought I had a little fix for our EA issue here, but that's all right. So EA is still screwed. Let me get rid of these right here and get a new set. And this will be 6:30 at 4. And let's see. Looks really good. All right, so now we're going to go back to the rules, order of operations. The very, very first thing we're going to see is here. Do we have a buy stop form? We do. Here and here. Since that call, no, it did not. So this will be the first time it goes up and over. Will be here. All right. So what do we have looking here? This would be the cross. It went up immediately with no drawdown. If we take a look at the bigger one, we're going to have to enter again over here. And it would be here. 2 pip drawdown. See, so that would be the correct one, but let's see what that is. See, that's a full-on buy stop on the 30-minute or 30-second, but can it be a 30-second buy stop like that? Not if we don't have the drawdown, so we're going to need the drawdown. Is that still good? It is still good. Does it always form that? It did on a 30-second. Is that always going to be there? Fill in the gap, 30-second, 1-minute entry. That's why we're testing. We don't know. Okay. It's a tough one right here. Sell. So we're going to need a fill in the gap entry. The first fill in the gap entry is right here. All right, we're going to have to go on to the next grouping and see. Wow. Okay. We're a no-go on ES1 on that time, but we do have a go and a very good trade on NAS. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. All right. Let me see if this is correct. Oh, shit. It went under. Well, let me just see for argument's sake if this is still going to be a good trade. Hold on. I'm sure I can tell Keith just making sure it's within 0.5 of going under and it's still a good trade. All right, let me see if this is true though. So then we go forward from here and we need to first fill in the gap trade. And nope. And nope, these are actually buy stops. So when would be the first fill in the gap trade? 32nd. Nope. This would be the first fill in the gap trade. How do we know it's closed? Because it would have to close right there. So this is a fill in the gap. Yep. This was a fill in the gap. Yep. This was. So we closed it. Yes. So if we switch this to a straight fill in the gap, can we catch the different ones? So whether it's a 2-minute, 3-minute fill in the gap or a 30-second, 1-minute fill in the gap, I don't suppose we can go down to 15 seconds here, can we? We can, really. Is that right? Let me see over here. No, we cannot. I didn't think so. July 8th, July. It's not bad, though. Let's go to July 9th and see something. Okay. Nope, can't even do it. There. Okay, let's go over to here and see. A, is it still above? Yep, it is. All right, we're switching over to July 9th, 1545. July 9th. It's past the holidays anyways. I don't never like trading around the holidays. It's too slow and things just don't act the same. All right, morning everybody on TikTok and YouTube. Yes, I know I'm talking to myself, but that's because that's what I do when I'm figuring things out. So good morning. All good to see the evolution of the system. Yeah, you're definitely witnessing history when I'm going over all this. All right, now this is going to be, did I just do that? Yep, this is July 9th. All right, what is the trade? This is very good. We do have a strong, okay, we need to fill in the gap after that, which could be right here. And we have a 1 minute, yep, 2 minute fill in the gap trade. Yes, we do. 1 minute, 2 minute fill in the gap. Let's go over to here. And the 30-second. Now we're going to need entry though. So our entry, beautiful trade. So now we have 2 out of the 3. Keith's going to have to do a fill in the gap. He's not going to be happy with me. But if we can do closure on this, let me see something real quick. If we can do a closure, a full closed fill in the gap trade, when this turns back to green, this will be right here. Yo, wait, what happened now? No, 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 no. Hold on. Nope, nope, nope. This is what we need. All right. So this is the 1 minute, 2 minute. Yep, this is the 1 minute, 2 minute fill in the gap. Everything's perfect on the sniper. Crossing would be here. Okay, let's see. That's not even a pip drawdown right there. It is 1.25. So a 2 pip drawdown. Holy shit. And then everything's perfect. So let me see this again on the blue line rising, pink crossed. Correct. It'd be right here. Entry would be here. Perfect call. Yeah, that's really, really good on ES1. And let me check over here on my little thingamajigger. We have this, and we're down to the 15 second. But we needed one of them to be a fill in the gap, which is right here. This is huge. Holy shitolas, is this a big trade. That's what's going to happen too with the robot. We're going to let one run, and then holy shit, are you guys going to be fucking happy on the trade. All right, entry would be here. No drawdown on NAS, and I mean, this has got to be 100 pips, 80 pips. Hold on. No drawdown. 168. Wow. That's incredible. You're looking at over, it might still be going too. Let me see. No, that was it. So you're looking at 170 pip trade on NAS with no drawdown. Probably another 20, 30 pips on ES1. Let me check right here and see with a 2 pip drawdown. Yeah. So that's going to be 200 pips on one robot trade. Well, that'll make up for any losses for damn sure. So we have a 170 to 2 pip, 70 to 1, 70 win pips to 1 drawdown. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is a definite go. Yay. Let me make sure on that time and in again. July 9th, 1545. 7/9. 1545. Yep. All right, sweet. We'll get those. Not all the time. The robot's going to be popping off probably 3 to 5 pips at a time. But then when it gets that runner to run, woo! Yeah, that thing's going to be a monster then, that trade. All right. Again, what we're looking for is we're backdating the order of operations by hand, manually, and then Keith's coding it as you speak. And then when we're done, we'll have a nice fancy little robot for you guys to be able to utilize. There will be a charge for the people who are in my system. It'll be a nominal charge, still be a monthly fee. For the people who are not in my system at the time of release, you guys are done. You'll be paying hundreds to thousands of dollars a month to use the robot. But unlike all the other robots out there, my robot will actually work. See, we did it again right here. So if we go up a time frame, if we go up from here, see, this is just nothing more than the fill in the gap trade. Should I do this right now? Let's just see. Let's go to a 1 hour, take a guess. Let me go back down to a 45-minute. I'm just going to play around with something real quick. Oh, it's 7/9. Hold on. $15.45. Okay. So right here. So it's to the left, but not on the 30. Let's see the 30-minute. And then the 20-minute. Yeah, see, there you go. It's a 20-minute. So the fill in the gap on a 20-minute would be like a 10-minute? Probably somewhere around that 10-minute. There should be a red thing right here on the 10-minute. Ooh, it's going to be much lower than that. Let me go down to a 5-minute. Really? No. So what do we have then? A 2 minute? So it's a 2 minute fill in the gap on the 20 minute. Is that fucking right? Because eventually I want this robot to be able to read every time frame all at once. Can you imagine, poor Keith? But I want, if it's not a proper 15 minute, for instance, is it a proper 20 minute? And yep, it looks like it is. So there you go. So if we're looking here, what would the fill in the gap be then? What is the red, 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 green? Is it, so it is a 3 minute? That's just not true. Hold on, let me do a 5 minute real quick here. 5 minute? Is it a 7 minute? 7 minute? Is it a 10 minute? No. So it's going to be a 20 minute and a 7 minute match up. That's for future use. But so a 20 minute, 7 minute match. Fill down on, and then the 7 minute is a high stop, and this is a fill in the gap. All right, so it can logically then, if it's not right on the 15 minute, 2 minute, it can go up and look to see if it's a 20 minute. Don't ask. It makes sense in my mind. All right, let's go back to here. All right, so now we have the correct fill in the gap, 2 minute, 3 minute. Right here. So this would be a 2 minute, 3 minute with the sniper is proper. Perfection, let me see this right here. Did it stay above where it needed to? Right here. Yep, it did. So this is a perfect trade on July 9th. This is really nice. It is a 2 minute buy stop, 3 minute fill in the gap. And yeah, that looks really good. 2 minute buy stop. Yep. So where would the entrance be exactly if we were going to get picky on this one? It would be here. It would be entered right here. Could we do the pullback? Is there always going to be a pullback though? I don't know. I don't know. It would be entered here though off of the green. Enter green. 15-second. Bullshit detector or first. I'll have to test that dark green for entry. Dark green has to... Yep, we'll check that out and see. But either way, because that would literally be the first pullback against that coming up. That's kind of ironic, huh? Good morning, everybody on TikTok, YouTube. Let me see on this. So we had a perfect one here too. Hold on. We did. This is a 1 minute, 2 minute fill in the gap. Entry again would be there. Yep, that's the histogram bar. That is our sniper moving. First would have been here. So the time in would have been 16:05. Yeah, same time. 1605, 1606. So this would have been a double call. This would have been confirmed on both. That's why it's such a good trade too, because they're both the same. Okay, cool. All right, we have a perfect trade. Love that. That was just 2 pip drawdown and 150 pip up for the robot. Nice. And let me see. Everything is green. They're all green. It's a sea of green. Yep, that's one of our old rules. All right, let's go up to the next one, which would be a higher time frame one, which I'm not going to call right now. All right, so let's see. Can we recall it on the way up? I can have him make a look back bar to look back if it was like 5 or 6 still up, then the pull, and then the fill in the gap would be here on the 2-minute. That would be coming down, but we would need complete closure. If it's a fill in the gap, that means the only way to know that it's true is when this closes. So when this closes, which would be there, then we have the pullback, and we do. Oh my gosh. This is why we keep doing this testing. That's exciting. Would we have drawdown after that? No, we would not have drawdown after that. Nice. Okay, so let me take a look here. What did I just call this trade? We're going to get Keith to do this. This is going to be a look at July 9th, 2315. July 9th, 2315. Okay. And let's see, this is a 15-minute up. Need coded 5 15-minute bar look back, and then first dark green sniper, and then fill in gap 3-minute with a 2-minute closed buy stop, then 15-second green sniper. Okay, so let's see if that's true. So we come down, fill in the gap 2-minute, we come over to here, boop over to here, then the full first dark bar over here, which is perfection. Holy shit. Wow, and this is why we test, peeps. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but you can at least hear my mind go. It's a 2 close, 15-minute dark bar. That is correct. So that is an extremely good trade for NAS. Yep, we're perfect. Does it work at the same time though on our little robot here? On our little robot, on our ES1 here. July 9th, 2315. Let's take a look. July 9th, 2315. Okay, let's see. We need the stays up. Yep, more than possible. It's the drop down. So this is going to be a 2-minute. This is going to be a 1-minute, 2-minute fill in the gap. Engaged here. Where would the entrance been? Can't tell. Probably the first one would have been this one. Yeah. And then the up. And your entry would have been off that pink crossing the blue sniper right here. Yep, but we had drawdown. Let's see. Right here. Yes. How much drawdown would there have been on ES1? Here to here. 2 pips. It looks so much on here and it's not. Should have been a 2, and then yeah, you'd have made a shit ton. Okay, good. Nice. So ES1 and NAS would have matched up on this trade. Yay. There you go. All right. Good morning to everybody who's talking over here. Sorry, I can't pay attention to you right now, but I'll try to answer your question if I see them. What's up, Jason Lee? How does my system work? Very well, thank you. No, how does system work? It works by, good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Jason Lee. Better hurry and buy the system. I agree with Larry. Who's asking this? Jason Lee. And good morning, Joseph. So Jason and Joseph. All right. Jason's asking, how does the system work? I really don't have time. All right. Let me show you real quick. Whenever you see this setup right here, this is called, let me move into one shot. I'm going to show you on one screen. All right. Very simply put, my system deals with exact high probability entrances. What you're looking at is ES1. It's a futures thing, but don't ask. It's just a symbol, doesn't matter. Anytime you see this exact, let me go back in time for you. I'm going to give you a quick 5-minute little thing, 2-minute little thing. I'm going to explain it to you in 1 minute. Watch. All right, here you go. This is anytime you see green, 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 red, green, green, buy stop, this is a buy stop. This will always go up, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Doesn't matter. And I have an analogy, and the analogy is actually a little video. So what you're going to see right here is Jason. We're going to use Jason as our example. He is right here in the red trunks. This is red. In my system, red means down, green means up. Can't make any simpler. So red. So Jason's trying to dive down and get this gold doubloon down here. It's a little gold coin, right? So this is red. The trade's trying to go down. 93% of all traders, and I say more, 99% of all traders would think this is going to continue to go down. My system says no, this is going to go up. Green, green, green means up. There's 3 indicators right here, 3 indicator bars. You're going to notice 3 people with green swim trunks pushing up. So the analogy is Jason's trying to swim down. There's 3 indicators or 3 people underneath him pushing him up. Then there's 3 indicators pulling him up. So my system from right here has exact entry points. You would enter off this orange line. This is called a buy stop, entry buy stop. Your stop loss would be down here where the pivot point was. This is your stop loss down there. Take profit would be this orange line, and then your runner would be over here, and these are your take profits. So my system tells you exactly when to enter, where to put your stop loss, and where to put your take profit. So right here, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and just do a buy for argument's sake. We're just going to pop that in. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. So when we see this thing right here, watch how it looks. This is how it looks, and we're going to go ahead and play this now. Now watch. This was Jason trying to swim down. 3 indicators pushing him up. He can't get to the gold bar gold coin because he pissed somebody off. Above Jason, we have 3 more indicators. 1 green, 2 green, 3 green. Even the candles are green. Those are 3 up here. So this is a buy stop. Even though Jason is Michael Phelps on steroids trying to go down, he can't go down. The trade can't go down, and it has to go up. So that is the analogy. Jason, do you get the analogy? So let's watch it again. Jason's going to see, matter of fact, we can speed this up a little bit. Let's put this on right here, and we're going to put this on normal. All right, so here we go. You have Jason swimming down to the bottom of the pool, minding his own business, trying to get this gold coin, but nope, he stopped. 3 grown people are pushing up against Jason. We have 3 more grown people pulling up against Jason. The trade was trying to go down. It can't go down. Jason can't go down, and that's how my system works, by high probability setups. You see this pattern, it repeats on any time frame, on any symbol, over and over and over again. Let's make this a little full screen for him so you can see this whole thing by itself. All right, here he goes. you're going to see he's going to come in, trying to go down to the pool, bottom of the pool to get the coin. He can't go down because there's 3 grown people pushing up against him. Then he really pissed somebody off because they hooked him, and now Jason's hurting. He gets hooked by these 3 indicators, pushed up by these 3 indicators, pulled up by that indicator. The trade can't go down, and of course he can't go down. So what does this mean to our trade? Well, if we play this out, right, we do our little movement forward, boop, like this, you're going to see take profit, and you're going to see it go immediately up, 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 up. This is going entirely too slow. Hold on. Let's move this up a little bit. Pop. And there you go. And it's going to go up. It's going to take profit 1 right here on the orange, like I told you, and then it's just going to run up, and that's simple as that. So there you go. Don't worry about how much money it was. Just worry that that was the 100% accurate, correct trade. So that's how the system works. Hope that helps you. Evidently, is he still here? I don't know. Well, Joseph, that's how the system works. Hopefully you understand that and appreciate that. And that's it. I got to go back to doing my robot training. Now, to get the robot to recognize all that is, yeah, good luck. The AI is dumber than a fucking rock. When everybody tells you that AI is fantastic and the best, and it is not. It is not. It is 100% not. It is a mess. The coding is very slow. They have so much to learn. Now, AI might be extremely smart in other things, but it is not smart at all in trading. It is dumber than a rock. BlackRock has its own AI. Vanguard has its own AI. They have Adam and Aladdin, respectively, and they are dumber than rocks. Oh, but BlackRock has so much this. They're dumb. Their AI is silly, mentally challenged, and yeah, I thank God, because I defeated it, and I know how well, whatever you want to say, but I figured out what they're going to do before they do it. That's how dumb they are, and they haven't fixed it in 3 years, 3.5 years. They can't, because they have to make it go up. They have to make it go down. My system is just figured out before they do it. So that's how my system works. Okay, next. Back to our testing. So what we are currently doing right now is training, getting the order of operations correct for our robot to be able to trade automatically what I just showed you all. But I have to have my robot at I prefer 100% win rate. I'll go with a 95. But either way, my robot is going to be exceptionally accurate without mistake. So we just found out a very, very good trade right here, and now we're going to look at our next one. So we have 2 perfect trades being called by the robot. I think we got up to 17 the other day, and that's all I'm going to do. So all morning long for the next few hours, this is what you're seeing. I hope that made sense to everybody on TikTok land and YouTube land. All right, let's see who's over here in YouTube land. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. Good morning, Solace again. Good morning, Martin Lewis. Good morning, Filio. Larry said, better hurry up and buy a system. I agree with that comment. Marcus Mitchell, Breebot, I want in. Yeah, everybody will when I'm done. Thank you, Larry, for speaking up and telling Marcus Mitchell what to do. Appreciate you. You know that, Larry. You're a good man. I was trying to create something like this in TradingView. I'm close, but not there yet, because I don't know all the variables with PineScript or whatever TradingView calls. I know PineScript sucks fucking ass. Their coding language has caused Keith Palmer so many headaches. PineScript is the worst coding language. MetaTrader 4, what they have in there, their coding language was superior times a million. TradingView tries to have its own coding language. It's a complete failure. They need to give up on it, and they need to start using somewhere else. But I feel your problems, Marcus Mitchell. All right. So back to what we were doing, which was making our little robot smart, which is a very hard process to do. All right, so I'm going to go back to what we were doing, and that is the next trade. So not here, not here, not here. Here we go. Beautiful. The next possible trade that the robot will be looking at to see if it meets the order of operations is on July 10th, 2025. So July 10th. And this is at what time? This will be at 12:15 Forex time. That's Athens time. 12:15. What do we see here? Yep, it looks really good for NAS. Let's see what it looks like for you guys over here. And yeah, usually you don't see the behind the scenes of what someone has to go through to make something like this, but I figured I'll take you all along for a ride. This is already, oh my gosh, I think we're at a month now, or coming up on a month, I'll just say a month, of me doing this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, every day for a month. And I was doing this actually on vacation too when we were in Vegas. Don't ask. All right, so here we go. Nope, it was 12:15. We need to move back one. Wasn't it 12:15? Yeah, 12:15. Why did it miss so badly there? There we go. All right. So now, is it? Yes, it looks really good on the sniper on ES1. Yep. Oh, yeah, we have a good trade. So we're going to have a double up. This will be a confirmation trade is what we'll need for the trade to be called. Oh, nice. Good. All right, let's see how this is going to roll, peeps. All right, so the correct thing will be here. It sees it's a boom. We're in a buy stop on the 1 minute really quick. We're in the buy stop on the 2 minute really quick. Perfect. Our entry then has to come over to, probably anyways, to the 15 second. I can't see. Blue rose. We have our first pullback right here. This is the first one. Sniper entry right here. This will be the entry of the trade at 6,296. At what time is this? At 12:52. Let me mark this one. 12. This is just perfection. Sniper low. See how it does it? Sniper is the most incredible tool ever made in the history of mankind. I'm just going to keep saying that until you guys understand that I am 100% serious. This is a wonderful trade. Am I going to be able to hold this trade open for a while? Let me see again. I think this can survive the pull down. This is going to be a huge ass fucking trade. All right, let's see. I'm just going to give a rough entrance right here of here. I'll come back to the exact entrance again later. This is going to be a 40 pip profitable trade. And let me see the drawdown. Exactly, there was none. Entry would have been here. So what was that? A tenth of a pip? Let me see. A quarter. So it wouldn't even have been a full pip. I'll call a full pip drawdown 30-to-1 win ratio on that one. Wow. Look at, you would have had a re-entry here. It's going to do more than one entry too, by the way, just so you all are clear. But this is perfection. Perfection. Okay, so we have our entry time of 12:51. Let me go over to NAS on my charts. Again, some of you may or may not understand, but while I'm looking at ES1, I'm also looking over here on NAS. I have my own set of charts open on another screen, and I'm looking to compare, and then we're going to go back through all these different trades, and then we're going to look at US 30 and SPX 500, for instance. Then it'll be YM1 and NQ1. And then I'm going to keep doing it on all these until we can get 2 out of the 4 to match up, or 2 out of the 5 to match up, and then that'll be an actual signal that will go to the robot. And that'll go into your pocketbooks. So we're trading 6 symbols as one for double confirmation, triple confirmation. I'm sure in some we'll have 6 out of 6 confirmation of the trade being accurate before it's called. Yeah, I'm pretty thorough like that. I don't like to leave anything to risk. Good morning, Sam. I am. All right. Now, it was called then, so let me go over to NAS like I said. Let's go over to here. And yes, I see the 3 minute and it engages, but what engages first? Obviously the 1 minute, yep. 2 minute, yep. Now we're at the 2 minute, we're inside of a 2 minute. Now we have to go down to the 15 second and see something. 15 second turn to green right here. That's a pissy thing. What the fuck is that? No, oh, it's not a full on buy stop. Shit, that was, there it is. So this is the full, this is the first time pullback. 12:48. Whoa. What time was that one? Oh, 12:51, same time, good. All right. 12:48 is the exact in here. So 12:48, this is down here, is that correct? That is correct. All right, so let's take a look. The exact in is 12:48, it would have been down here. It immediately went up 2 pips. It was then drawn down 1 pip. So we have a 1 pip drawdown upon entry. Wow, this is going to be a nice one. 1 pip drawdown, and we are up 72 pips. 70 to 1 ratio on your win to drawdown, profit to take TP to drawdown. 70 to 1. 30 to 1 on E, which makes sense. They're about double. Nice. Wow. This is an exceptionally good trade. Again, so we have our same rules. So this would be the 15-minute sniper is correct. We don't have to do the fill in the gap, it'd be this one. So the 15-minute first green. And then it would be the 1 minute, 2 minute turn. Yes, red. And then that is also going to be, and then enter first sniper. Pull back, got it. 15 seconds, and that is correct. So that is awesome trade, fantastic trade, both on NAS and ES would have been called. Nice. Can't see you, it says AI algorist. You can when I want you to. All right, so that is perfect. Next possible trade will be here. And we have a kill right here. How much below is this? This is below. Oh, good bit. Fuck. 3. Nope, we can't call it. This will be an uncallable trade, but let me check over here on your guys's. July 10th at 22:45 is uncallable for NAS. July 10th at 22:45. Go to, and let's see what we got. July 10th at 22:45. Let's go over to here and see. Yes, also uncallable. The sniper is not in the right position on the 15th. And that's an uncallable trade. It's too bad because that's a very good trade. This will be a 30-minute for sure. This would, see, if we flip this to 30-minute, you'll see the sniper in a much, much better position. Watch. Might even be a 20-minute. Ooh, still not good. Let me see the 1 hour then. 1 hour. Yeah, we'll be able to hold the 1 hour. So this, eventually the robot will be smart enough, hey, I can't call it on the 15-minute, let me check the 30-minute. I can't call it on the 30-minute or the 15-minute, let me check the 45-minute. I can't call it on that, let me check the hour. And then if it can call it on the hour, it will call it on the hour. And in this particular case, it can call it on the hour. And then it will do its little 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute check, and then it will enter off the 15-second. Yay. You go, little robot. Yeah, it'll get there. Nice. Okay, so that one's a no-go. But we can see that it filed into an hourly one, which is perfect. Nothing here to see. Oh, here we go. This is going to be perfect for NAS. All right, let's go to Friday, July 11th at 1800. Next trade is Friday, July 11th at 1800. And this is a possible call. Let me go over to you guys for Friday. Oops, dropped my pen. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's go over here. And let's go to July 11th, and let's go to 1800. And it's probably going to only be running at certain time periods when I'm done with this. 1800, there we go. Let's go to here at 1800 and see what we shall see. All right. No, this is a horrible, oh, wrong time period. Hold on, let me go back down to the 15-minute shit. I was like, this is completely the wrong time period. It seemed really odd. I don't think that's accurate. Let's see. There we go. Much better. Yes, this is a perfect ES1. Let's see if it meets all of the order of operations for ES1. And we have our first... Nope, we'll already be there, so this will be the second. Yep, 2-minute. So let's go to here on the 2-minute. So we're now engaged on the 1-minute and 2-minute. Interesting. This is too tough to call. This isn't a buy stop. Interesting on ES1. Let me see this again. So let's go to here. And from that moment forward, what is it doing? Is there a pullback? No. Yes. The sniper would be entered here. So where can we call this? I do not know without having the computer code from Keith. So this is a tough one right here. I would say definitely it would have been called there. But let me see how that's going to work. See, that's not a fill in the gap. This would be the first fill in the gap trade. I'll go with this. All right, so the first entry then for ES1 would have been right here. Let's go ahead and grab that. Time of 1834, so 34 minutes later, it would enter off of this up. I don't see any drawdown whatsoever. Zero drawdown. Yep, 0 drawdown. Now, how are we looking on our actual trade? Yeah, can this survive the next no, it will not. So this particular trade would be from here to here with no drawdown. Jesus. Okay, it would have been from the top of that one to this one. 10 pips. Oh my gosh. 100 ticks, 10 pips on ES1. That's amazing. You go, little thing. Wow. Awesome. All right. Let's go over and check NAS on my screen. And let's see what we have over here. NAS. So the first, it would have been in the middle of the NAS, 1 minute. The 2 minute would have engaged right here. Then not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, here. It would have engaged somewhere around there. Let me see where this was. So this would have been, roughly speaking, 1835. When did it engage over there? You guys can really help me out if you paid attention. 1835. Let's see. Yeah, 1835. When was this time engaged right here? 1834. Yep, that's about the same time. Nice. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. That'll take care of that. Now, so this is let me get back over here. So this is going to be the entry. Do we have any drawdown? Let's see. It went up 5-6 pips, which technically would have already closed take profit 1, and it went down 2.6 pips. Now, after that, Jiminy Christmas, did this thing go up? It went up over 50 pips on this trade. Wow. So that is a 25 to 1. See, we've been averaging that about 30, 25, 30 to 1. Take profit. That's crazy good. Okay, so this is an exceptionally good trade. This is a perfect trade, both NAS and ES1. Can't wait for you guys to be using this to get your funded trader accounts. Oh my God. Everyone's going to be able to hook this up, demo trade only, and then do with the trade as they're called with the trade copier. And if you put it to a real account, I can't stop you. You guys are adults. You do your own adult decisions. But damn, this is going to be fun. Okay, next. Nice trade. Gorgeous trade. Let me go ahead and check my comments. What's up, Tony Gold? Your knowledge of the market is amazing. Well, I don't know about that, but thanks, Tony. Good morning, Stacy Ocho. Grand rising to you, Tony. Good morning, Sam I Am, and Larry Cooper again, and Marcus Mitchell. All right. Next up, can we get some thumbs up from everybody? I know there's just a few of you here, but I would appreciate that. I just like having my little thumbs up. Oh, good for us. Never mind. You guys are doing a good job. Yay. All right. Next up, we need to get to another possible trade. There is one later, but that doesn't count. It'll be part of the same trade. Okay, here we go. Did it go under here? No, it stayed above. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, did it go under here? Yes, it did. Fuck. All right, anywho. This is going to be a great trade, right? I can already see it. All right, this is at July 14th. July 14th, 7/14/25 at 13:15. Let's see if it's a good trade for you guys over here that you can see, which is ES1. Let's go over to, yeah, Saturday, Sunday. It called it Monday. That's perfect. Monday at 13:15. Let me see if we see a pattern yet on these times. 13:15. Let's see what we see here. Okay. Very, very good on ES1. This is going to be an excellent trade. The sniper is in perfect position. Let's see. When we have ES1, we're in the middle of the 1 minute. It engaged right here on the 2 minute. Technically, we should probably wait for the 3 minute as a rule, but we'll get to that later. It comes up. Nope. Definitely comes up. Nope. Definitely comes up. Nope. Now, this is not a complete... yeah, that isn't completely a buy stop on the 15 second. Nope. Nope. That might have been a fill in the gap. Nope. Nope. Well, son of a bitch, when the fuck are we getting in a trade? Buy stop. So let me see. Right here, okay? So entry, according to the rules at this point. It's not perfect on the sniper, though. Well, at any rate, we got in here and it went immediately up. It looks like to me that's the entry, so it would have been no drawdown and it went up 1.5. That ain't shit. So it went up 1.5 pips. There's no way that trade would have been called. Well, oh, hold on. That trade would have been profitable. So at this time, hold on. But that is for ES1. Let me see when this exact same trade would have been entered in on mine. So entered, entered, entered. Now we have to go over to here. No. Yes. This trade would have been entered in at 13:44. Nope, so this would have been first. Let me grab it. And then this would have been the entry right here. It would immediately went up. Let me see. No drawdown. And about a 3/4 pip profit. Yeah, that's not too bad. We might have taken that. Let's see what would have happened on the drawdown, though. If this would not have been, I can't see it. Son of a beeswax. All right, now, see, this is because it's the 3 minute. So let's see this drawdown right here. Jiminy fucking Christmas, I can't even see. I don't have enough space on my charts. All right. Oh, this would have been, okay, this is going to be a huge trade. But the drawdown, I'm going to go roughly speaking then. Let's see if it had been more than 20. It would have been a 25 pip drawdown entirely. I don't like the sound of that. We would have made 4 or 5 pips initially. The robot would have broke that to break even at a 1, probably a 1 pip profit. So we would have made the 5 pips, broke even on the second trade. But I'm a little not happy with, now there it is. This is probably the correct entrance right here. Well, it's enough of a correct entrance on a re-entry. Yep. And then it did it again here. So this isn't ideal. It ends up going up a shit ton, but we're going to have the robot smart enough for a re-entry on this pull. So let's just say our normal one would have been here. It would have dipped about 25 pips and it went up 180. Holy shit. So a 25 pip drawdown. Down. That's a little bit too steep for me. I'll check that entry and teach it to learn not to do maybe that particular one. I'll give it a different entry. Drawdown and 180. Now I like the sound of the 180 take profit. So it was initially about a 4 pip profit, no drawdown, and then if the trade would have stayed open or re-entered, you'd had a 25 pip drawdown and 180 take profit. Still not bad. I just don't like any kind of draw. I don't want, I'm within 20 pips on NAS, I'm willing to accept. That's 25, no, that's a little over. I'm not willing to do that. But at any rate, okay, so both of them are going to be decently okay trades, not acceptable in my mind. I want it to be better. There's no way I'm going to accept that. I can't have a 180 pip take profit with a 25 pip drawdown. I'm just not doing it. So I'll figure out the entry on that one later. But anywho, it was okay. Yep, here's one. Another entry. July the 15th, so 7/15. Here's another one. $7.15 at what time? 5:30. 5:30 Forex time. So let's go over to your guys' little charts on ES1. And let's go over to July 15th. And let's go over to 5. Go to. Yes, I can do this for hours and hours and hours. Time just flies. If I wasn't talking to you guys right now, I'd be through twice as many. And I would just be doing this over and over and over again. It looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll be okay on ES1 on entry for the sniper. Next time it does what it needs to do, we have, yep, right here. And then the very next time would be here. I think we're going to have to wait for that 3 minute to engage. Those what I'm going to have to make a rule on. So if we're going to do that, let's bring this back over to here and let's bring this back over to here. Does it always go there though? I don't know. I'll have to find that out. 3 minutes. So we're on the 3 minute. Now I can go over to the 15 second and see what I want to see. I can't tell here. Yes, for sure there. So we have a for sure entry there. It might be the next previous one on the previous sniper pink line low, but we'll see. All right, entry here at 624. Is there any type of drawdown right here at 624 up? No, I don't see any drawdown whatsoever. This would have been the thing. You're up a couple, you're up more. Where does this go? Oh shit. This goes all the way up to here. 19, 20 pips. Must say 20. 20 pips profit. That's insanity on ES1 with 0 drawdown. Yay, I can live with that. Nice. Nice. So this is a very, very good ES1 trade. Let me go ahead and go over to NAS and see at that same time what I'm looking at. So we would have seen your entry. You would have seen the entry here. Let me see this again one more time. At July 15th, 6:15. So this is July 15th at 5. Yep, 5:30. Doesn't matter, the entrance is here. So yes, this is at 5:30. This is perfect on ES1. All right, let's see, July 15th, 5:30. Okay, we're going to go over to here. Let's move it till we hit that first line, shall we? Let's open that up just a little bit. So this will be our first look. Then we come over to here. What do we see? Fill in the gap right here at 6.2. Ooh, is there any drawdown? Very little. Hold on, let me see the 6.2 time again. It would have closed above right here. All right, let's see how many pips drawdown this is. Here to here. This is a 9 pip drawdown, and I couldn't even imagine how many pips this is going to be up. 9 pip drawdown. This is the second entry on that trade, by the way, so we're clear. Yeah, that's the second entry. That is an excellent. This is another 180 pip. 5 pip drawdown. 180 pip take profit. That's fantastic. You ain't getting no better than that. All right, next trade. Possible trade. We're going all the way up to current in case you didn't know. So we're hand back testing the code, the order of operations code, AI. All right, let's take the next look. It turns to red, 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 green. Drawdown. Can't do it because it's already in the middle of it, so that's a no-go. Drawdown. It's a higher time frame one. Does it go below before entrance? I'm sure it does. There's nothing we can do, so that's a no-go. Now we have it here. Can we catch it here? Don't know. Looking at July 17th at 10:15, so July 17th. We have the 3-minute engage there. Do we see a buy stop? No. Yes, right here. It's below. Can't call it, so that's a no-go. This one, nope, that's part of it. And then we're current. Okay, that's it. Wow. So 7:15. Well, that's all the trades. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perfect trades and a winning trade for the 6, but not as much as I want it to be on that drawdown. So we're 5 perfect, so 6 trades. How many days back was that? Hold on. That was to July 9th. Let me get out of here and go over to there. July 9th. So July 9th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 trading days, 6 trades. That's what I thought it would be, about a trade every day or two. Because every day you're going to have a 15-minute movement. Oh, I didn't tell you, this will also work on sells. If there is a 15-minute sell to be had, we'll be able to trade that also. So it works on buys and sells, the robot will. Oopsie, let me get out of there, go back to here. Okay. All right, now, that was fun. That was fun. Did anyone else have fun with that? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Does anybody have any questions, though, before I go? On TikTok, do you have any questions? I'm heading over to YouTube for a few minutes, and then I'll go. Does anybody on TikTok have any questions for me? Anybody have any questions for me on YouTube? We were back testing a robot. Still are. I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple things on my own. Sabrina says, I love, is that right, Sabrina? Well, I'm glad you do. This bot is going to be gold mine. Yes, it will. How will it leverage preset based off account balance? No, this is what you guys are going to do. We're going to have different versions of the bot available. For instance, people who are with the system, say you only want to trade, it's going to be specific. So ES1 and SPX will have a bot. NQ1 NAS will have a bot. YM1 US30 will have a bot. So if you're going to trade ES1, you'll be doing it at a 0.01 lot size. You'll need to have, for instance, like a $500 balance in your account or a $200 balance in your account in your demo account. And then you guys choose to trade whatever you want to trade against it. So your leverage you'll be using on your demo account is whatever you're doing. Whatever you're going to be doing on if you're going to use this to do real live trades, that's up to you as a grown adult to take that own risk yourself. You can do your trade copier and you can copy it into any account size that you feel is comfortable. But for a demo, you're going to need it, I would say minimum 200, but I'll probably force you guys to have a demo account of 500. I'll know as we go forward, see what the drawdown is on average and stuff like that, and the biggest drawdown and then the smallest and all that good stuff. Well, this is the very, very beginning. Now, this is going to take off and turn out quickly once it's done. So whether this robot is done in a month or two, or whether this robot is done in 6 months or 8 months, when this thing is done, it'll be specific to ES1 and SPX, NQ1 and NAS, and YM1. And there'll be 3 different robots for that. There's going to be a different robot for gold. There's going to be a different robot, listen to me, for XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum. There'll be different robots for every symbol. And then you guys can trade copy over. We'll have like US30. Ain't no fucking way you're trading US30 with a $200 demo account. You got to give it room to breathe. There's no way in hell. So your demo account, hint, hint, will be probably minimum of 1,000 if you have 500 to 1 leverage. Nope. You're welcome, Stacy. Morning, George. Thank you for the heart, George. Yeah, no, J-Flow, we're not controlling any real money. That's up to you guys to trade copy over to whatever real money you want or not. This is strictly a demo trading robot, period. That's it. Demo trade only, babies. All right, TikTokers, got to go on TikTok. YouTubers, any more questions on YouTube? God bless you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later on TikTok. YouTubers, any questions? Any questions before I go, YouTubers? It's a good question, Jay, but we're not getting involved in real account balances at all. I am not a financial advisor. Remember that, Jay.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
On demo, says Jay. There you go. Can't wait to try it out on demo. Correct. But yeah, we'll probably have this coded over to MetaTrader 5. We'll probably have it coded over to several other ways to trade. And on MetaTrader 4, for instance, you can go from demo, click one button, and go into real live trade in one button. Now, I don't know what it is under TradingView to go from where we're coding it to where it's going, but yeah. You guys can be able to make trade copies off of this. I can't stop you from doing that. When will beta be available, says JFlow. Yeah, no, where there'll be there's only beta testing with family. My family will be beta testing the robot. None of you guys will be doing that. So do not email asking, do not message asking. There's no beta testing other than my family members will be beta testing it. And going back to the guy, whoever it was, that said my knowledge of the market is amazing. It kind of is, right? But how do you get all that knowledge into a piece of code, into a robot? Oh, it's so frustrating because I have to dumb down things because TradingView we can't code it, or Keith has a problem with this or that. So I had to dumb it down, but now I have to make it a little bit smarter. It has to be able to read these time frames. It has to be able to see what I'm seeing, because I'm not playing with the robot. The robot will be exact. Any more questions on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook? Any more questions for me before I go? If not, you guys have a great Saturday. God bless you. I'd probably be on Sunday morning as a guest. I don't know. We'll see. Any more questions about the robot? If you're in, let me rephrase this for you guys, because I think some of you don't understand what I'm saying. The robot. Oh, logo. There we go. This. Photo automace. 1 month to 6 months. Yeah, you'll pay like a $200-300 upfront fee for the robot if you're in the sniper or the signals. I want to point that out to you guys because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. If you're supporting me now, Bree and I now, you won't have to pay $1,000, $2,000. I'm not kidding when I tell you that. That's what it'll be. Now, the ES one might be a little bit less. It might be like $750 a month or something like that. I don't know. But a couple $100 a month for you guys, $200-300 a month for you guys that are supporting us, absolutely, you'll be have access to it. Any of the robots. I don't care what they are, the gold or whatever, you can get it for $200 a month. Hint, hint, you might want to either own the system, minimum, because I might not even release the robot to anyone that doesn't have the system. That's almost for surely initially, probably for the first 6 months or so. If you're not in the system upon release, you will not get access to the robot. I'm going to put it that way, so period. Now, will I eventually let it? Sure, but am I going to reward you guys who've been supporting me first? Fuck yes, I am. And if you think like $200 a month is a lot for a robot, I paid $5,000 for a gold robot with my brother probably 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And it never made one trade. It never made one fucking trade. I don't want to get into it. Scam fucking artist pile of shit, dickhead. Should have known better. Brother, whatever, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, no, this robot will actually work. It'll have a 90-95% win rate or better. I'm preferring 100% win rate. But if you're at a 30-1, we make, let's say on average on NAS, you make 30 pips and the drawdown on it's 20 and we have a 90% win rate. My God, you can't, it would be so much wins, you guys wouldn't even know what to do with yourselves. So, and if you can't make, say, I don't know, even if it's a 10, right? 9, 10 pips, 5 pip drawdown, 90% win rate. If you can't make $200 a month with a robot that wins 95, 90%, 100% of the time, I can't help you. There's no help for you at that point. CHO says, can't wait. All right. All right, guys. So far, what is the win rate? Well, the win rate's 100% right now, but we have to have it coded in. Manually, the win rate is 100%. Basically, one trade every day, and it has the total drawdown on 6 trades, 25 pips. So let's say the total, that would have been 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I'd have to do that quick, but let me do it real quick for you guys. Just off the ones we did today. I mean, we have to obviously pull back and do the the trade tracker to track it further back, but whatever. But for now, the furthest back I can look, and just on those quick little trades we looked at, that would have been 35 pip drawdown. And let me see the number of pips up. That would have been 360, and then 200, 560. You'd have been somewhere in the neighborhood of about 500 pips up with about 30 pip drawdown on 6 perfect trades. Somewhere in the neighborhood. That's not exact, but that's a rough estimate. Good enough for me. All right. See you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. God bless. Talk to y'all later. See ya.